I'm like weirdly nervous about doing this because it's been a while, but sketchbooks. This one took me so much time. November to April. Preview of things to come. This is the longest a sketchbook has taken me in a hot minute. I think partially because this paper is really thin and the sketchbook is thicker than a lot of the ones I normally go for. Because normally I go for like a watercolor paper and this is very much not. I try to open my sketchbooks with a quote, immediately fucked it up, and you know what? Yeah, that sounds about right. A lot of doodles. This is actually, I think, the very beginning of a comic I am just now getting to working on. Yeah, there she is. This was a design for Christmas cards I sent out. So basically every year I collect a couple of mutuals and they're like, do you want some art? And they say, yeah, sure. And I send them a little postcard. This is all school planning stuff. Because at this point I was trying to decide if I was going back to school. And this point I had started my rewatch of Sailor Moon. I'm on like season 2. And I love it. I grew up like surrounded by Sailor Moon. I think I read the manga in middle school, but had never watched the full series and don't have any memories of the plot besides very, very broad strokes. So it was fun to come back to and get to enjoy a bit more. Various doodles. These are all for commissions I took, I'm gonna say like December-ish. At this point, I was planning for Secret Samuel, which is a fan exchange that Friends at the Table does every year, or the fans of Friends at the Table does every year. And I was doing a comic for America's Playground, which is an arc that they did basically of like kids in an 1800s like boardwalk. So this was first drawing of one of the characters in that. I'm gonna remember later, it's gonna kill me. Some various doodles, more America's Playground drawings. This is another character from that. I can't believe I don't remember any of their names. And more notes. I think this was notes from one of the intros that like led into the arc. I don't remember why I was testing it. Oh, this must have been right after Christmas because I got a bunch of pens from my partner for Christmas and I was testing all of them out. Oh, there are all the names. So the first one, this is gonna bother me. This is Caddy. And this is Melinda. I really like this drawing of her, which is why I'm going back and pointing it out. But this is basically how I scripted them, which is that I knew I wanted the comics to be very lacking in dialogue. So I kind of just tried to write out a scenario, like epilogue scenario for each of the characters. Based off of what it means for them to be near the shore, which is was part of the prompt. Scary little puppet. Creepy little puppet. Yeah, I also use a lot of Post-it notes in my comic thumbnailing. I don't remember why I started doing it, but like from the first summer thing I did where I was doing comics, this was the thing I was a fan of, was doing my thumbnails on sticky notes and then like shuffling them around as needed. I think part of it is because if I don't like it, I can just like get rid of it and move on. And this is where I started doing classes. So now all of my things that got in here have homework in them. I was working on an assignment. I think I'll post a picture of it here, where I was doing a lot of like greenery and floral like design as part of the composition, and I hadn't done that in a bit, and so I was taking from like references and other artists who have drawn greenery that I've been like, that's really pretty. I kind of want to do something like that. I know this is a Friends at the Table Palisade character. I couldn't tell you their name. And then a bunch of studies from J.C. Leyendecker, who is an illustrator I am a big fan of. So just kind of copying their shapes. I have a tendency to go through sketchbooks at a rate of like one a month, because like I said before, they're usually 30-ish pages, all watercolor paper, so I go through them much faster. But I wasn't really able to use watercolors in this, and it took me a lot longer because I wasn't like painting and stuff in it. I don't know, it was a whole thing. This was while I was watching Leverage Redemption with my partner. That is one of the characters. I don't remember why I ended up briefly designing a little funky guy. I should do something with them. I think this was just having fun designing characters. Oh, this was for the same assignment that the flowers were for. This was another idea I had. It involved like a tree person and a knight, which also goes back to a project I had in school a couple of years ago. So I was thinking about them. These were class doodles. Yeah, there was someone, we were looking at like reference pictures, and there was somebody who had like a fancy outfit because it was from a revolution, I want to say in the 80s, maybe 70s. That looks like the 70s. Some drawings from a book about Charles Vess, which is an illustrator, and then just some doodles of my dog I did at work. I was rewatching a Yakuza 7 stream I liked. More work doodles. I ended up starting to draw a lot of like little birthday stickers at work because I work with kids a lot. And my boss was like, you can draw Toothless, right? So I was working off of a little picture of him we have in the store and trying to get that. And then this was math I was doing for a game that I ended up abandoning, which I'm thinking about picking up again. But I was trying to, it was a solo journaling game, and I was trying to get the math of what I wanted for the card draws right, which I think I'd have to rework if I were to make it. These are all of the like initial sketches I was doing for a painting I did over spring break, which little peek behind the curtain, am or already have made a video about. Yeah, I ended up filming the process for it because I was like, I have free time, I can do YouTube stuff. And then I didn't touch it for a hot minute, and I'm working on it now. And then this is me trying to figure out what a character who is Artie's friend looks like, because I've only ever drawn her from the side because you can get a really fun shape that way. You can get like a fun little profile that way. But I wanted to know what she could look like from the front and just couldn't get it. I don't remember why I was drawing all of the partisan characters. I think I was listening to The Road to Palisade and getting excited about the idea of Palisade. So a lot of these are older designs, but it's cool to kind of look back and see how my art has changed, even if I'm drawing the characters very similarly. So we have brown, lots of valences. I have a favorite. A Clem, a Witching Glass, and some Millies, and a Thisbe, who I have more thoughts on how to draw now. And this was notes on like a mini lecture I went to at school about like self-maintenance and like the ideas of self-care, which I should go back and look over because this is a thing I've been struggling with. You can pause and read my handwriting if you dare to try, but it was really interesting. It was kind of about how to manage your classes and your time, because it was mid-final season and everyone was dying. This is more related to that game I ended up not going with. I am sure there was some drawings I wasn't happy with, so I was just like, stick them in there. More drawings for the comic I'm working on. And then this is actually for my painting vinyl. I don't remember why it ended up in here. I have a separate sketchbook for like my school stuff. But I think this was me trying to figure it out because I was talking with a friend about like what I wanted to do. I ended up going with like this idea of like a suit of armor haunting, or a knight haunting its old suit of armor. Ended up pretty neat. And then I think I just, this is the same day and I just forgot my actual notebook. Doing some like funky rainbow pencil stuff. I really want to like the rainbow pencil more. I think it's so fun. It's just because there's not a control in values, I get frustrated after doing like 3 drawings of it. Some metal studies, because I ended up doing a whole final drawing armor and did not have practice. This is the start of me trying to figure out a Mother's Day present, actually, because I got my mom into Hades and wanted to draw her some fan art. This is a very bored at work doodle. Sometimes it gets slow there. This is probably a study from Pinterest. Me trying to think about what I would be like as a Pokemon trainer. Yes, and then drawing a bunch of Quagsire as a result. This is me solving a shrine in Breath of the Wild, a game that I've played and I'm playing again because I cannot swing $70 for Tears of the Kingdom. Glaceon, who's an unexpected new favorite Pokemon of mine. I think I was thinking about doing like a me at my current age with like the 2 maybe I would consider my partner Pokemon, or like a full team, because we have Weasel and Floatzel, Eevee for Glaceon, Wooper for Quagsire, and then a Slowpoke. I think I was gonna do like a before and an after, and then just never got around to it. This is me. I started playing Breath of the Wild and I like it a bunch, and I think Link is pretty cool. Self-doodle, self-portrait of sorts. Lots of fairies, doodles, and studies. More doodles listening to podcasts. They're like the thing we were listening to seemed very Regency inspired to me, and think varies, just doodles. And then I always start my sketchbooks with like some kind of quote or something, and then I end it with how I'm feeling in that moment. I was in finals. I was in finals. That's all there is to that. And then a lot of the stickers on the inside I didn't talk about. I don't think all of them, but I redid the stickers on the back of my laptop to have a color theme. So I ended up taking off, I know this one, like some of these smaller ones, and this one for sure. Taking them off so I could do the colors because it's more like pink and blue now. But yeah, if you want to see more sketchbook videos, I have a lot of my previous ones. I want to say from the last like year or two on my thing as well. There either is a video about the painting I mentioned, or there will be shortly. And yeah, thank you so much for watching me run through my silly little doodles and things. It's funny because it's easier for me to draw when I tell myself I'm not making a sketchbook thing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to turn this into a video, it's fine. And then I'm like, psych, I am. But yeah, feel free to leave any lovely little words or anything you want to hear me talk about or ramble about as I gear up for making more videos over the summer, and I will see you all in a bit. Goodbye! Do I just not mention the voice thing? I think I just have to not mention the voice thing. People are gonna find out. They're gonna hear it and be like, whoa, Buddy sounds way different. It's because I've been on teeth for 6 months. Teeth for 6 months, y'all. Surprise!